Well, morning, folks. Saturday morning. Last week, Sissy and we got some new content here. Number one, we recovered the greenhouse last Saturday, and we got it with this 6mm Sunmaster film on it, which that's a really good brand if you can afford it. Everything's going up, as you know. So we're gonna take you in and do a little tour. We got some tomatoes ready, and we got some other things sprouted. So come on in, and we'll have a look. Right here is some envy carrots. And these are we got a tomato come up in there with them. That's from compost right there. But anyhow, you're gonna have some of that happen when you redo tubs every year. But this is a variety that we think will be a good pencil finger carrot. You know, if you plant them pretty thick like this. And you can thin them as you go. You just reach down, feel the top of the root, and if it's as big as you want, pull it. And that was raw seed. Now here's the difference here in the pelleted. Got another tomato, huh? Look at there. So we came in here and we pelletized this. Some of them, see, that's the late ones that come up. They come up way later than the rest. But at any rate, we've got some good growth going on these. This is a Johnny's mix. I think it's rainbow mix. And here's some radish we planted. Got some alpine. We've got them that big out in the bed, but we wanted some for later in here over winter. And I brought in our parsley tub. That's Giant of Italy. This stuff is really cranking out the leaves. If you hadn't tried it on fresh pasta, guys, you need to. It's really good herb. It's not too strong. The spinach I wasn't really happy with. We'll come in there and plant some more in the skips. It was just really hot when we planted it, and it didn't like that too good, but we got some. But here's our golden Rave tomatoes. Look at the set on that plant. I had it planted in with this cucumber. It's about dead. It's done. And I wouldn't have really gave this plant much of a chance, but it's got fruit all the way up in the top. Whether it all matures is another story, because we're getting late in the season. And here's some right here. Here's a ready. Here's some of our Cherokee Carbon. They're a hybrid. They're an F1 hybrid cross. But man, you talk about a great flavored tomato. So we'll just go down through here and pick a few of these rascals out of here. Some of them's a little skin up, but those leaves are burned because of that 40-mile-an-hour windstorm we had before we got the cover on. Man, they didn't like that. And but it didn't slow them down, and it didn't knock a lot of them off the vine. Here's a real pretty one. This is kind of the color you want to let them get to, guys, right there. And this is, if you got acid reflux and the tomatoes don't agree with you, this is a good one. And it's really sweet and mild. Sissy just picked one right there. Let's show them one on the vine. Hey, now here, look at these Florida 91s. They got so heavy with tomatoes, they crashed. They wouldn't hold herself up anymore. And I had them pretty secured. But that's been a really good variety. And let's see, there's a Cherokee Carbon. I seen it in here this morning right there, honey. Seen? He got a little blossom end issue on him, but other than that, that's going to eat just fine. And no matter to us what he really looks like, as long as he tastes good. And they're loaded pretty good. They do a good job of setting fruit and heat. That's one reason we like them. So we're coming on around here. We got a big one up here in the top that's trying to get there. These, I think these are Bella Rosa back in there. There's a bunch of them back behind this plastic right down in there. You can't hardly see them from here. But hopefully this heat in the daytime will get these things ripening on out. We're going to grab that one out of there because that's less weight on the plant. Look at that, grasshopper damage. Just take your knife, cut it off, still good. And so I think these are Bella Rosa up here. They didn't get as big as those Florida 91s, but they got some nice fruit on back in there. And then our cucumbers, we kind of let them go. We need to strip the vines just to get them out of here. They're done, and there's where I planted some more parsley in with this. You know, a lot of times when you garden, it's the little things that make the difference. Try to plug in some of that stuff, you know, when you can, when you got a gap, and you'll be glad you did because you got extra of it. So here's our, we brought our house stash of garlic chives in today to get them some more sun. And last year we lost every one of them. I say we lost them. That really cold spell in February just put them on the ground, and they didn't come back till what, April, I think, before they really started coming out. So take you a few and put them in the house, and then you've always got chives for potatoes. And we made some potato leek soup, put these in really good. So we're going to go around now, see what else we've done to this greenhouse. We've been putting this fabric, landscape fabric, around, making an apron around here all the way around to keep these blasted weeds down. And you can mow, you can set your mower up above this and it won't grab it. I got to put some more fabric staples in it, but yeah, you can just clip the grass right off. Don't even have to worry about getting it in the mower. So here's what we're doing, another project. We have started building a compost heater. Sissy, come on up here. Well, get him a shot out there. It's just a wire cage. You can make them round. They don't have to be square. You can make them out of cattle panel and put chicken wire inside if you want. But we think this is the way to go. Most of these guys that are building these are using this fabric, and there's two reasons. One, it creates heat, and two, it lets it breathe. It can get air through here. So two things you need for compost is air and water, but you don't want too much water, because you'll cool it down to the point it won't generate enough heat. So we've got a variety of things I'm going to put in it. Let me go around and I want to show you where I put it inside the window. You could use wood here, but I already had a piece of plexiglass with a hole cut. So I had to enlarge it a little bit, but I got it started, and as I got it inside there, I kind of just corkscrewed the glass, and it screwed right up on there tight, and made it pretty good. It's not a big deal if it leaks a little, but what I am going to do, I'm going to take some tape, and I'm going to cover this around here like so. I'm not going to do the whole thing right now, but see all those little air pockets? We don't want too much heat coming out as we come here. We're trying to pull it in. I'm going to put a little squirrel cage fan in here later, and that'll pull the heat from inside this composting area into the greenhouse. And this is like a passive heat system, but it'll save you a lot of money just running the heater. Is it going to work all year? I doubt it. As long as we get sunny days, and this will heat up, and it'll retain that heat overnight, and that's what you're after, so you can pull it in here at night. Don't worry about it so much in the day, especially if you got the sun working for you. But you can see where I went down here, and I took a piece of fabric and zip tied it on the end of that. And so that's to keep that from filling up and plugging off, and lets everything breathe. That's what you're after. So I'm going to get over here right now, and I'm going to here's an old dead tomato plant, throw it in. So we're gonna layer this with leaves, cardboard, whatever will decompose in here. And you don't have to worry about getting it all nestled in here real tight and all that business. There's some sticks, don't matter, put them all in there. If they don't break down later, you can always put them back in another pile and they'll keep working. So we got a ton of leaves around here every year. Sissy and I used to burn them, but no more. We're going to start using these, because the day may be coming when you can't get fertilizer. So you're gonna have to start making your own fertilizers, compost, and all that. So I'm not gonna spend all day here putting leaves in, but that just gives you an idea. What you're doing, you're layering this stuff. So now we've got some old dead rosemary that didn't break down. So anything that'll give you some air in between is a good idea. So we're gonna put this stuff in there. We got a lot of background noise today, guys, so just bear with us. Somebody on a tractor. That's Mr. Don, new John Deere. So see, here's some old stocks that didn't break down, but it doesn't matter. Put them in there. Put them all in there. See, here's some more rosemary. When you eat sweet corn, save the cobs. Them are really good for aeration. So now I'm gonna sprinkle, this is some of our finished compost. So I'm just gonna sprinkle that in. And this will start your microbes working. You can get compost starter, but that's only when you're starting a new pile. You don't need it when you already got some working. So this will help start eating through those leaves. I'm just gonna put enough in there to get this thing going. And now, here is some Alfalfa Cubes. Turn the background so y'all can see them. They're kind of old. We were feeding them to the rabbits, but these are good enzymes. These put a lot of enzymes into your soil, so we're gonna scatter in some of those. You can put over your old newspaper, a lot of old mailings that come that you don't want. Don't put them in the trash can. Put them in here. Tied and can get them loose. Yeah, these things are already working. I can smell them working. They were working in the bag. Okay, so we got some of those. Now, we picked these mushrooms the other day. These are puffballs. We were going to eat them, and I told Sissy, I said, nah, they're too brown. So anytime you see mushrooms growing in your yard, or anywhere for that matter, stop, pick them, put them in here. If you can't eat them, guess what? That'll get your fungal growth going in here. Now, here's some old cardboard tubes. I guess today is diesel day. You can see here, these have already started breaking down. That was from these spools of fabric. So look here, you just break them and throw these in. These are like wood, but it's wood that's already speeding up decomposing. So we're going to put these in. I'm not going to break them all up. I'm just going to throw them in here layering. There's one on the end, one in the middle, one on that end. So now here we go here. Our neighbor's going to throw this away. This is really good cardboard. That's been wet, but that doesn't matter. I'll take it, and it's easy to tear. Just tear this stuff. Just tear it off some. How about hits this in the head with it, and just layer that in here. And a lot of people call this, I got a new catchword now in gardening called lasagna gardening. Well, okay. Then you kind of help it get that glue broke on it. And throw that in there. I'm putting all this in. So there goes those sheets in. And this is going to start creating heat when this breaks down. You can use this cardboard boxes. A lot of the stores still give them to you. Most of them now they have them recycled. They have a truck comes out and picks them up, but there's still plenty of it out there if you need it. So we've got a good layer of this. Honey, you want to get over here and show them what this looks like now? So here we go. We've got pretty good layers of this in there. And so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some green material in here. You say, well, we put alfalfa, should be green. Well, here's some. When you end the crop before it frosts, here's some old tomato vines. So we're gonna put these in. We picked the green ones off. We'll use them. We're not gonna throw them away. Purple pulled pea vines. Good nitrogen. Just scatter them all around in there. We got dogs bark, we got all today. Okay, I'm just gonna pour the rest of that in there. So I'm gonna take and I'm gonna put a little bit more organic compost in here. You can see there, I don't know if you can, there's some little sprouts that started in this stuff. And it's seeds that's been there some right there. But see, all that's already working, guys. That's what you're after. And as we keep going with this, it'll probably take us this coming week to fill it up. So when you get this going, just repeat. You can put grass clippings, but just be aware. If they've been treated, that chemical is going to stay in this, and even when it's in compost and you put it on tomatoes, it's going to roll them up. Don't make that mistake, a lot of people have, but now if you got a hay field that somebody's got some old scrap round bales that's broke, that's a good way to get some organic material. They'll usually just give them to you. So we're going to continue layering this and tape that hose. We'll secure this a little better where it comes out of the bin, and then we'll get us a little fan and put in the mount it right up here in the front of this and pull the air in. Let us know what you think. There's a lot of people doing this now. I haven't tried it, so what I will do when I get it up here, I'll put another piece of this fabric on top, and I'll put a piece of sheet metal on top to keep, you know, too much rain out of it. And if it needs water, put a little on. Run your hand down in there. Or you can put a temperature gauge in here. You can run it through the side and run it right down in the middle of it. And that gives you a good idea of how it's all working. So let us know what you think. Put in the comment section. And if this helps you in your gardening, we'd be happy to hear from you. So until next time, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, and we'll make you another video.